Hey guys, Dr. Jamaal here at Style Chiropractic Clinic. I'm also the gym chiropractor for Evolve. We're here at Style Chiropractic right now, rainy day. I wanted to say congratulations so far on this challenge. You're almost there. Even if you not exceeded the goals that you wanted at the beginning, you're just 1%, at least 1% closer, and that's all that matters. We're here with Mark today.
Hi guys, Coach Mark. Just want to let you know that I'm also a massage therapist here at Style Chiropractic, and we want to do this video for you guys' benefit so you can see what functions and dysfunctions are there when you do your workouts. We have always preached about form and function, so that's what we're going to do today, is tell you all about this there.
Perfect. I got to meet about half of you guys during the weigh-ins, and we did a squat assessment. And as I told you during that squat assessment, it's not about you consciously doing the perfect form. What I'm looking for are dysfunctions that are in your body that you can't necessarily correct. So I know a lot of you guys noticed that as you did that, or you just told me straight up that this was gonna happen. So here, we're gonna start off on the lateral view, what I was looking for a perfect functional squat. So I'm gonna have Mark get in position here. And so he's just standing perfectly neutral like that. And I'm gonna have him drop into a squat with his arms up in line with his elbow or his ear. There you go. So what I'm looking for is the bottom of his leg from the heel like that, and then from the hip should be about parallel. So if you want to come around here so they can see it's parallel. Perfect. So that's about parallel. I'll have Mark come up. So that's a perfectly functional squat from the side. So going over some of these dysfunctions, I have Mark get back into a squat, but this time he's gonna lean forward at his hip. Go ahead and down. So as you can see here, it's not parallel. If you wanna come over to the side so you can see that over this side. So that's not parallel, all right? So what that means here is that as far as overactive muscles, we have his soleus and gastrocnemius, which are both names for the calf muscles. Soleus is deeper, the gastrocnemius is the meaty ones, it's the good one. There you go. Then we got hip flexor complex, so if you go back into that squat and you lean forward, right there's hip flexors. Tight. That's more when you feel that, when you're real sore and it's right in there, that's that hip flexor complex. And we also have tight or overactive abdominal complex. So we'll have them come back up. As far as underactive muscles, we have the anterior tibialis. So the posterior chain is doing more work than the anterior chain. And we also have the glute max. This comes in as weak because we sit down for too long. If you really get that hip back, you're working more of that glute max. And then finally, your erector spinae, which is just a fancy name of all the stabilizer muscles that are deep and close to your spine. So you're not working those enough. So the next dysfunction we're going to talk about is the low back arch. We're going to have Mark go back into a squat. But this time, he's gonna arch, he's gonna lean a little forward and then arch his back to bring his upper body more straight. So there you go. So what that's gonna look like is there's gonna be more of an arch in his low back than it should be. What this means is that he still has overactive hip flexor complex. And here, because, so forward lean, you're not using your lats or your erector spinae, but to bring that upper body up again, you're using more of that erector spinae and your lat. So those are overactive. As far as underactive muscles, still got glute max is underactive, hamstring complexes, which are these muscles back here. And then you have the intrinsic core stabilizer, which are deep ab muscles. So it's not the ones you can necessarily see, they're the deeper ones that hold everything together. So for instance, you have the pelvic floor, transversus abdominis on the side, and then multifidus, which attaches to your vertebrae. All right. And then the last one from the lateral view is the upper body. So if Mark goes back into a squat, but this time his arms are just gonna fall forward. So if you felt like you couldn't keep your arms up with your ear like that, The problem is you have overactive lats, so latissimus dorsi, teres major, which brings that scap back, and then your pec major and minor, which is big. A lot of people, since we sit down a lot, our shoulders roll forward. Those pec major and minor are getting shortened, so that's why most people have tightness there and can't keep their arms up high with their ears. As far as underactive muscles, we have the mid, so it's in here, and low traps. Everybody knows about the higher traps. Those are the ones that feel good when somebody massage. And with stress, usually your shoulders come up, and those are overactive. But these mid and low ones are underactive. We also have the rhomboids and the rotator cuffs that are also underactive. So that's it for all the lateral views. Next, we're going to go over the anterior views and their dysfunctions. Next, we're going to do the anterior or front-facing view on what I was looking for. So for a perfect functional squat, we're going to have Mark drop down in position. Good. See how his knees are straight with his toes. They pretty much come straight out. And then we're looking for the feet. I'm more looking for them to come a little straighter. There we go. I'm looking for the feet to be just like that. So that's perfect. Feet straight, knees go down straight as well. Have them come up. So first dysfunction we're going to talk about are the feet turning out. So most of you didn't have this one, you had the opposite. But for this one is when Mark drops into a squat, his feet are going to turn out that way. So go ahead and show that to them. There you go. So as you go down, your feet will feel like they want to turn out with your knees. So both of them bow out kind of like that. So what that means is you have an overactive soleus, and we'll get more specific now, the lateral gastrocnemius. So that's in the back again. I'm going to face that way. Easier. So soleus is deep. Lateral means the outer part. So that's right here, and then on the outside right there are overactive. And we have the tight biceps femoris, short head, which is a hamstring muscle. So it's around in there. One of your hamstring muscles specifically is tight. And that's why it's bringing those legs out. As far as underactive muscles, you have the medial gastrocnemius. Is more on the inside of the same calf muscle, the big calf muscle that you see. And then the medial hamstring complexes, so these are all the internal hamstrings, which is why they're underactive, so the outer are bringing everything else out. Then you have sartorius, which is a small muscle that kind of starts here in the hip flexor and comes around down the front. Both sides, so that's overactive. And then popliteus, which is a muscle, small muscle right behind your kneecap. All right, and the next, I have you face forward again, is the one that most of you had. So this one is when Mark goes down, his knees are gonna collapse inward, and the feet are gonna also turn inward sometimes. But the main thing is those knees wanna come internally. Go ahead and stand up. I know a lot of you know that you have that one, so we'll talk about which muscles are underactive and overactive on those. As far as overactive, your adductor complex, so those are the muscles that bring your legs in. So that's that when you go to the gym and you have that machine that opens and closes, those are the muscles you're working on the inside. And you have TFL, which is just a muscle that starts kind of on the outside there, kind of close to where the sartorius starts, and goes down just a little bit. Usually feels really good to massage right in there, so that's really overactive on you. We also have the bicep femoris, short head again. That's that hamstring muscle I was talking about. and then the vastus lateralis, which is a quad muscle on the outside. So lateral, outside on both sides. As far as the underactive muscles, again, that glute med, glute max from us sitting down too long. So glute med is more on the outside, the glute max is more of the juicy one, straight in the middle. Then we have vastus medialis, so instead of the vastus lateralis, which is outside, vastus medialis is the internal quad muscle, so it's more in this area. So those are the tight muscles for that. And that's it for the anterior view dysfunctions. In closing, I just wanted to make a note and let you guys know that these dysfunctions aren't always just muscle. It can be because if you injured an ankle, a knee, hip joints. If your SIs aren't moving properly or the rest of your spine isn't moving properly, come in and see us and we can at least do an exam. Consultations are always free, but that coupon that I gave you guys, as long as you call before August 31st, we will honor that. If I didn't get the honor of meeting you and giving you that coupon, just mention this video and we will honor it until August 31st. And as a disclaimer, all this information that I gave you today is straight out of the textbook of the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I did not come up with all of this by myself. I'd like to take the credit, but it's not all mine. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them underneath this video. I will also give you my email. If you have any more sensitive questions that you wanted before you wanted to get in, just email me those and I'll be glad to help you. You guys have a good one.